Alright, so finally we are ready to go on our last step here of this MacBook repair. Now, last time we left off, I decided that due to the damages that were acquired to the back plate that I would go ahead and paint my back plate a nice black color. You guys can see I went ahead and did wet sanded it down, removed all the imperfections, and then I went ahead and gave it a couple coats of primer and a couple coats of really nice enamel black. You can purchase it down at your hardware store. I went ahead and painted the inner rim with the frame too. That way later on when I finish up painting, I'm going to go ahead and I will paint this piece. And this winter, during my break from my studies here over the holidays, I'm going to go ahead and remove this top plate, the keyboard, and I'm going to remove the bottom plate. I'll paint this that same color black in addition to painting both hinges. This cross member I'm going to paint green, and then I'm going to actually replace the LED backlighting in the keyboard itself and change that to a nice little green glow, and I'll make sure that I take videos of all of that. The only thing, unfortunately, that I will tell people, if they feel like doing that on their own, taking the initiative is a good thing, but if you decide to paint your, right here, your finger touchpad, I will tell you right now, I've had bad experiences with attempting to paint those. So if anything, this area right here, I would just leave gray. Unfortunately, it might look funny. You can paint your button, but I'd stay away from just painting this. Sometimes it messes up the sensitivity. So now that I got everything ready, and as you can see, I've got the back plate on, I've got the hinges sitting here ready, I've got my left side cable that feeds up to my video recording, my camera in the top, and then I'm going to have my microphone here, cable that comes up and pays attention to everything you say. So I took the new screen that I purchased. Most screens come with this nice little sheet over the top of it right here, you can see. And what I always do is I always pull the tape off from underneath the screen so that when you screw your screen down, you don't have tape stuck there and you can't get it out because it's taped to the back. So just remember to do that real quick. You can just stick it to the actual frame itself and then it'll be fine. When you do this, if you notice down here, there's that little ridge that I was talking about that it's open, that it slides into. Sometimes, like this, in this case, I had to take a little screwdriver and just very ever so lightly pry up a little bit to get this little connector to fit down in there. But aside from that, everything slid together just perfect, no problem, and we should be good to go as far as we're going to put in this screw right there, that screw right there, that mounting screw right there, and that mounting screw right there. That'll sum up the screws for the actual screen attaching to the outer frame, and then I'll go ahead and put my right there and right there my hinge bolts in, and then I should be able to stick this front cover piece back on. Just use a little bit of glue or double-sided tape, you know, however permanent you want to make it. I'm just going to probably stick it on there for right now because I'm going to pull it off later in order to paint it. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. Get my little screwdriver here, find my 4 terminal mounting screws here. Now again, be very careful when you're screwing this down. You don't want your screwdriver to slip, accidentally stab your screen. I recommend making sure you leave this cover in place until you're done doing all of your manipulations. As you can see, I've applied a small bit of blue Loctite to the end of the screw. I don't know if you can tell that. Yep, see that right there? That'll help keep this screw in place when you're opening and closing your screen repetitively. Let me move this out the way there a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now, if you choose to paint your screen like I did, there is a very likely chance that your screw holes will have, or that your screws will have a little bit of resistance when attempting to screw into the hole due to the paint in there. So if the paint has filled the hole, don't worry, just work the screw in and out slowly and it will work its way in there. Just be very careful, of course, not to strip it out when you're putting it in there. Just do not try and force it. It looks like worst case scenario here has happened. Unfortunately, one of my screws here does not seem to want to thread, but I'm thinking that is just because I had the wrong screw there. Yep, that's why. One of those screws has a bevel on it that's designed for securing the there is a cable that runs along right up through your hinge here and comes over, and then there's a little small screw there that you use that has a bevel on it so that it sits down in the actual, if you can see right here how there's that little eyelet right there that secures that. You need to make sure you use that beveled screw in there so that it can sit down in there and secure that without pinching it. Alright, so we have double check, make sure you have screw there, a screw over here, and a screw right here. So we should be good to go there. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this video right here and start a new part for the final assembly.